Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Lori Anne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful weekend we're having, day we're having, weather. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday, and I hope you are really enjoying each other on this beautiful summertime. We are so blessed today to have a guest in. Her name is Chrisa Riviello. She's a mom, author, and psychic medium who lives with her 4 kids and their 2 cats. Chrisa is an avid cook and a Disney enthusiast, aren't we all, who loves to travel and go on adventures with her children. After going through a divorce in 2012, Chrisa decided it was time for another type of journey. She was going to come out as a psychic medium. She was tired of hiding her true self and her gift. Chrisa launched her Facebook page, Mullica Hill Medium. She'll probably correct me on that. There she guides others with psychic services, messages of hope, and astrological teachings. Chrisa found herself opening herself up to who she truly was, allowed her to heal from past abuses and traumas, and she was inspired to search for other ways she could help others. Chrisa became a co-author of 3 books, Women Who Illuminate, Life is a Gift, Loving You, and Messages to My Younger Self. With 4 kids of her own, Chrisa knew she needed to break generation dysfunctions. She wanted them to be able to live differently than she had. Chrisa taught herself and her children the 2 most important lessons she had learned, that loving yourself and being true to who you are will lead to the greatest happiness and success in life. Yes, yes, yes. We talk about that all the time here on Healthy Lifestyle. With these lessons in mind and her passion for helping others, Chrisa set to work writing a children's book, The Crow on the Farm. So excited about that. Geared to the 7 and 12 age groups. The story features 4 characters, each with their own unique gift, and follows them as they learn about themselves and that gift. The book is designed to introduce children to all things spiritual and inspire them to be true to themselves always. Welcome to the show, Chrisa.
Thank you, Lori, for having me.
Oh my gosh, so glad that you're on. It just resonates with me across the board. You know that, we connected on a very, very high level, and it's just wonderful to have you on the show. So I love this book. What inspired you to start writing The Crow on the Farm?
Well, it was about a year ago that in April that I took this. I saw on Facebook this little class, a 5-day class, that wanted you to just kind of look inside and find your book. Where was your book within inside of yourself? So as the days progressed during this class with Jean Berry, this whole idea of the children's book came to me. And it's something that I've always been passionate about. I learned about my gifts at an early age. My gifts are from my grandmother, and that's at first what the book was geared towards. A grandmother, it was called Grandmother's Crystal Ball, because I had my grandmother's crystal ball. But then it just expanded into more areas than just one. It just wanted a book teaching children about their spiritual gifts and learning how to not only discover them, but to embrace and accept them.
I love that. And it's inspiring because if we can have our children know what we know now, I can't even imagine what they're going to grow to do, right?
Yes. It's absolutely something I practice with my own children every day. My oldest is 20. My youngest is 13. And just guiding them every day to trust within themselves, love themselves, listen and to how they're being guided. Whatever comes to them in any area, they're supposed to just listen to that message instantly that pops in their head. Never doubt. It's that old story where we were told, when you're taking a test, you always go with your first answer, and then we always second guessed, and then we erased it and checked the C instead of D when it actually truly was B. It's just really learning that who you are, accepting who you are, and just encouraging them to take this role on and let them know how amazing it will be, and to discover again about themselves and learning to embrace and accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. I went through a process myself through my life where, I was completely genuinely me. And then I started to morph and try to be what other people wanted me to be. Totally lost myself, found that totally unacceptable, came back and refound myself, love being genuinely myself. And, it's none of my business what anybody else thinks anyway. So I'm having a time of my life having reacquainted myself. Did that happen to you? Did you have a journey similar to that where you kind of lost yourself, or did that happen?
I definitely lost myself. And it actually wasn't really until late in life that actually when I was headed for divorce, that I knew something had to change within inside of me. My situation was a bad situation. It basically had left me, broken and scarred, but I had to get out of that. Like you had mentioned earlier about my bio, I had to break those generational situations and all the previous negative qualities that were pointed out to me. I didn't want my children to experience those. So,
well, you start to embrace them. If you hear them enough, you start to believe your own press or the press that's being fed to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And for all our years in education, we're never taught how important it is to love ourselves.
Yeah.
We're never taught any of that. I believe, we're a product of our environment in which we grow up in. And that's the definition we have of love. And that's not always the right definition of love. It turns it and leaves many of us unable to understand how to love or to be loved. And again, with my divorce, I just knew after 40 years, something just had to change and something wasn't quite right. So that's what started off my journey of self-love and healing and truly accepting who I was.
Yeah, I refer to it when I speak about it more as contrast. When I saw that contrast, I was learning through contrast what I didn't want. And we need to know what we don't want to understand what we do want. And so that whole journey is really important. And anybody who I've really met who's gone through that contrast has a choice to get stuck or do bigger, better things. And I chose to turn around, look back, and do bigger, better things. And just really look inside where all my success codes are. Because we all have our success codes within us from birth. We come with it.
Right.
We're prepackaged.
Yeah. Right. People can only change if they want to, and only if perhaps they realize that, what they're creating is not the environment that is, right for them. My experience allowed me to make a decision to love myself and to understand life around me.
Yeah.
And then I just had to take the steps to be my authentic self, and then also to share that loving light that I found within inside myself for all to see, and all those that needed my guidance as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, we talk about stuck many times, and let me just unwind that a little bit is for me, and I'd like to hear your perception on this, Chrisa, is being stuck is when you just keep kind of doing the same thing over and over, still not happy, not really getting anywhere. And it's okay if you choose that, but it's a choice. It's all choices. Everything that we do is a choice. It's our choice to enter a building or leave a building. It's our choice to stay home or go out. It's our choice to do something or not do something. And a long time ago, I learned there's really only two choices, yes or no, in or out, go or stay. It's whatever the opposite is. That's where that yin and yang come from. How would you best describe being stuck? Because, we talk about being unstuck, but what is it like being stuck? How do you define that?
Well, being stuck is just in that, I feel like it's like my first story I co-authored with Women Who Illuminate. Mm-hmm. It was called Rise Up. It was just being stuck in that dark place and not realizing, the routine of, unfortunately, it was an abusive environment that, there was no way of getting out. It was just a complete repetitiveness of that darkness just consuming every ounce of my being, until finally just realizing that, I was put into these positions. I had to figure out a way how to overcome. I had to, figure out, what I grew up in and what I was surrounded by it was not the best environment, but I had to figure out how to get out of that darkness.
Yeah.
It's a conscious decision. It's like shifting those paradigms within yourself. So many things are embedded in our subconscious, just because it's all we know. It's the environment that's been taught to us. I believe, our school systems, education systems, they really don't help us to open up that side of, our subconscious, to break those paradigms that are inside of us. We have to find the strength to muster and get out of that situation.
Yeah, and
it's a process, though. It's one step at a time. People think, they can become positive poly, as I tell my clients, in a day, but it's not. It's a process. It's baby steps.
It's a very long process.
Take it day by day.
Yeah. And learning just to trust your intuition. That's when I'm talking about like success codes, is just trusting your intuition. Like you had said, is that with your first instincts, what's your first reaction to something? Go with it. Trust those instincts. And that intuition, you start to actually, you can develop it, and walk us through how you actually discovered. Have you known that you had this gift when you were younger, maybe lost it for a while, or did it just develop over time as you became an adult and really started looking inward to take the journey of change?
Well, it was something that I did know about when I was younger. My grandmother, my mom's mom, she had a gift. She read the tea leaves in the crystal ball. Now, I've never met her, but growing up in my household in the fabulous 70s, it was psychic parties and, Tupperware parties.
Sure.
So it was an area. Go ahead.
No, sure. It was Burp and Read.
yeah, exactly. It was an area I was very familiar with. I had my first reading when I was 8 years old. And, back then in 1978, I was told that I was going to live to be 125. We didn't think it was attainable back then, but people today are well living into their hundreds.
Yeah.
The house I grew up in, yes, there were ghosts in the house. I've had a few experiences. But my parents also, they went through a divorce during my teen years. So I don't know if it was suppressed from that or not, but it definitely came to me when I was in college.
Right.
When I went to school during my college years, I started to become curious because I would just know things about people without even knowing the person. I could tell you stories about things with yourself and, things would just pop out of my mouth and I'd be like, where did that come from?
Yes.
So I did my research. I was in a school in West Virginia, and I did my research, and I found so curious. So I found psychics in West Virginia because I started experiencing my own abilities and found a mentor down there. And when I graduated, I also found a mentor in my hometown, and she just really opened up my whole trusting myself and really helped me develop my ability. And she taught me about readings and intuition. And again, here it goes. It's that trusting ourselves and letting doubt go. And it's just complete surrender to your higher power, whoever that may be. And just really believing in you. It's just really believing in you.
And we're all empathic at one level or another.
Oh, we all have an ability.
Right.
That's the key. We all have an ability. It's just really understanding and learning to tap into it. I have two sisters. My one sister is very similar to my abilities. My other one, she's connected to angels. She actually has her name for her one angel is Clarity that she calls on. So, my four children, I'm teaching them. They are all different in how they connect, and they all see different things with their abilities that they're coming into. But empath is something I believe we all have. We all can feel people's energy. We all know when we walk in a room, you either get that feeling of like a good feeling or you kind of get that like little nauseated feeling. It's just all about trusting, again, what your body's reading at that moment.
Yeah.
And messages too. Like I teach my clients, if you're thinking about something or something's weighing on your mind, just put it out there to the universe. Ask the universe, should I do this? And listen to the answer that pops in your head and trusting it. In the beginning, I would doubt it. It would be simple as going to the grocery store and it would be screaming eggs at me. And I would say, no, I don't need eggs. Well, I'd come home and, of course, there would be one left in the carton. Or whatever it may be, or the cardboard, with getting poster board, and no, I don't need poster board, but you come home and your son tells you 10 o'clock at night, he has a project and you should have picked up the poster board, but I didn't listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've learned to completely surrender.
And we've all experienced that. Oh my gosh, I knew that. I knew that was going to happen. And yet we didn't do anything to either prevent it, stop it, or take a different path because we were doubting it. But that I knew it was happening, right? That's the feeling.
Right.
I knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be positive and it could be negative.
Right.
Many of us get upset, like when we go for an interview and we don't get the job. You think it's where you want to be. You think it's a job. It's the right salary, the right hours, the right location. And then you don't get the position because maybe you're not seeing what's behind that. Maybe they would have worked you 70 hours instead of the 40. Like everything, we have to, good, bad, and ugly, you have to listen to that voice. No matter if you think you're supposed to go in a direction and that door closes, the universe is saying, nope, I think you need to U-turn or reevaluate. This is not the way you're supposed to go. Even though you may feel it, you still have to trust it,
right,
that it's leading you in a better place.
And I found if I don't listen to that and I try to jam it through, I ultimately end up where I'm supposed to be. I just took the really long route there. So if I just listen to it, it's just a shorter route. It's a lot more enjoyable. And, there's, when they say this term, which is probably annoying to most of us, is it happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. Well, it really does.
It really does. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you have that, the ability, and you're really tapping into it, and you're really getting comfortable with it, and really sharing it with other people. Because I really believe that when you have a gift and you have a gift, whatever that gift is, sometimes it's musical, sometimes you can be a medium, sometimes it's artistic. We have an obligation, responsibility to share it with someone, with the world. We really do. And for me,
definitely.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Ellen, a good friend of ours, yours and mine, mm-hmm. had indicated she had gotten what she refers to as a download. And basically, we're here for experiences, for Source to be able to experience things as well. So we have an obligation to come and use, that's why we were given the gifts, because we have an obligation to take care of other people. As we say here all the time, serve other people. We're here to learn and serve, learn and serve, learn and serve. So, and I know.
That's so true.
Yeah. I know when I'm saying stuff, like you had said, sometimes when I'm mentoring, things come out of my mouth and I get flushed from head to toe with goosebumps. That's not me. That's somebody else talking. That's Source talking through me, giving information, because it's not even in my cadence. It's not even the way I speak. And, it doesn't sound like an alien speaking or anything like that, but it's my voice, but it's not my words, not the cadence that I usually use. So it's really interesting. Do you get that too? Do you get some kind of a physical feeling when that happens to you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm still amazed every day and in sessions when I'm with the client and reading them, the things that come to me. I can tell though when it's not coming from me. My voice changes, my everything about me. Sometimes when I'm in a psychic session, psychic and medium are two different things.
Yes, they are.
My psychic ability is what came first. And that means that I can answer any question in the world you may have. What direction of your life is going, love, health, money, family, business, whatever answer comes to me, that's your message. Now, the whole medium side, I've always been able to see ghosts, but it was really kind of later in life that I was able now to communicate, and they were able to come to me and give me messages. For my clients. That happened after my divorce. And it's funny, sometimes, like, I was just in a session, about 3 weeks ago with a friend, and it was her mother-in-law that passed. And I love when this happens, when they completely, it sounds weird, but they take over my body. Like, she made me stand up. She was a walker, hand on the hips, talking to the family. It seems a little awkward, but I love that whole feeling to embrace, to be able to have someone completely just come into my body and speak to someone. on their own terms and in their own way as if they were still here with us.
Oh my
on
goodness.
the planet.
That sounds so cool. I would love to see that happen. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. We are going to take a little break and then come back and speak more with Chrisa on her Harmony House, her gifts that she has. And if you have any questions, please drop them in our Facebook chat and we'll be more than happy to answer them. Just give us a few moments and we will be right back. Well, welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Lori Anne. I'm glad you're still with us. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas you'd like to share with us or hear more about, please feel free to email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. You can always drop some messages and comments in our show at on Facebook or Instagram, Healthy Lifestyle with LA. So we love hearing from you. You know that. So here we are today speaking with Chrisa Riviello. Sorry, Chrisa. And we're talking all about how you really need to tap into your intuition and that we all have gifts. And Chrisa has amazing gifts, but also amazing dreams. And Chrisa, I want to talk about what your future goals are, what your visions are, because I realize and recognize the fact that you are a motivator. You're a source of encouragement. You're passionate about providing everybody with opportunities and processes to show them a path for their personal transformation. And we're very much in alignment on that because I help people find their purpose. And once they find their purpose, I help them establish a strong foundation so they can leap and soar in their business. So let's talk about more about what you do and how you help people really do have that personal transformation.
Well, I would really like to create a place called Harmony House. Harmony House is a vision that came to me a few years ago with my oldest had just graduated high school, and a lot of her friends had been coming to me for life experiences, where they were headed for school, what they should do with their lives. Now, yes, they may all have parents, but I think a lot of times in the world, we think our high school kids or older teenagers, they're kind of self-sufficient. We kind of throw them to the wayside, give them responsibilities, but don't always listen to what their goals and dreams are and what their purpose is.
Yeah.
So for me, I wanted to create Harmony House as a positive environment to kind of, uplift and nurture these souls with, allowing them to discover where they were headed, whether it be discovering their gifts, their path of spirituality, or just what they wanted to do with their life. I always preach to my clients, find what you love and run with it, no matter what it is. Find an area in your world where you can make a job out of it. It's your purpose. It's your calling. So you'll be rewarded not only for yourself, but then you'll serve others, and it'll just have that trickle-down syndrome to everyone.
Yeah. Well,
so
yeah, I find you very calming, by the way. You're very calming.
Yes, a lot.
We were in an environment together recently, and it was a little, there was a little chaos and havoc in a good way, high energy. And every time you walked in the room, there was a sense of calm that just came into the room with you. It's amazing.
Yes. And actually, that's one thing I love, with my clients. They always, they comment, how I bring them a sense of calm. And I just love hearing that. They'll come through a session and they just might be a little, upset or not sure of their direction. But I just, after spending that time together, I just love how they leave, and they just, they just feel that sense of calm about themselves. As you know, I'm very passionate with working with people.
Yes.
I enjoy giving them the tools to be the best that they can be in all areas of their life, whether personal, professional. But I found a strong love for these teenagers. I guess maybe because I have 4 teenagers in the house.
Maybe.
But it could be a lot of research and a lot of help and guidance. I just think it's a kind of a lost. They're kind of lost. Again, we put so much pressure on them, some with our own expectations of what we think they should do, what field they should be involved in. where they should be headed. And I just want to grab them and bring them to Harmony House and just have them figure out who they are, teach them how to love themselves, find what makes them happy, nourish that, and then send them on the path to achieve that.
Yeah, just send them to me.
Personal transformation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just think if instead of going through 40 years of trying to find that out yourself, if you found that out as a teenager, right? What amazing things could be accomplished and how much better the world would be because it would be calmer. And there would be, I think that's where a lot of our negative energy comes from because we're so torn. And we don't pay attention to that group of people. And I love, like you with your children, myself with my sons, I also projected and gave them tools. As I learned them, I shared them with them. And sometimes they thought it was a little woo-woo, but I hear them using those terms when they're talking to their friends. And to me, it's good because they're taking that step sooner than I was able to.
Yes, I agree. Mm-hmm.
And that will, the Harmony House would allow you to do that with teenagers, right?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your vision? What's the age group?
12 to 19.
Okay.
Right where they're coming into 7th and 8th grade. I believe that's it's such a transition, getting out of elementary into that middle school environment.
Yeah.
And truly finding out your path and where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And then it really kicks off. High school is just, they want you to know what you want to do for the rest of your life by the time you're, 14, 15, 9th and 10th grade. And do we really know where we want to be at that time in our life besides Friday night football games and, basketball games and, whatever, supporting your school spirit, or whatever they may be involved in. So just really want to just help them find who they are on the inside.
Yeah, because
they don't get that.
No, because and we're so busy being told in schools and stuff like that. And listen, both of my parents were teachers. They were in the education field, and so often. And I remember this happening to me. I was told by a guidance counselor I was supposed to go into the math sciences, which is so humorous to me. And Chrisa, that's not my strong suit. I could do math. I don't mind doing math, but being a financial advisor, not going to be my career ever. So it was amazing to me where they were pushing me, and I was totally resistant to that. Not surprising though, but totally resistant to what they were saying. I was like, no, they have no idea because of this test that kind of pigeonholed you. So for me, I think instead of taking these tests that pigeonhole you that are scientifically based, air quotes, to go inside and really discover it yourself is what we're supposed to do.
Right. It is, because as you had mentioned earlier, like when you were saying with Ellen with her downloads, and we are here to have source experience it through us. So if we're truly not who we're supposed to truly be, then we're just, it's like a dead end road. Like you're just, it's like that movie Groundhog's Day. You're just continuing the process every day. You're just the hamster on the wheel.
Yeah.
You're not accomplishing anything. You're not growing. You're not becoming aware. You're just stuck in that hamster wheel. Yeah. Continuing.
Yeah. It's so cool what you do, and I love your vision, and I look forward to seeing your Harmony House. I think that's a really great place to go. And so The Crow on the Farm, I know you're writing it. You're almost done. It's coming out sometime, in August?
In August, correct, yes.
So it's a children's book?
Final touches.
Yeah. It's a beautiful story. I love the fact that they all have special gifts, and they're able to learn more about their gifts and be able to share it with the world, as we said we should do it. I love that, your life really shifted when you decided to be of service for people, especially children. So this book is right in alignment with that.
Yes, it is. I'm so excited for the book. I cannot wait to share it with everyone.
Yeah, you really are a true guardian to help others. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. It's definitely a sense of calm guardianship and very nurturing. I could absolutely see that Harmony House coming to fruition after The Crow on the Farm comes out. So will you be offering The Crow on the Farm on Amazon or through your website, or how can somebody get their hands on it once it comes? And I'd love you to come back to the show once it comes out so we can talk more about the book.
I will. Yes, thank you. I will definitely be offering The Crow on the Farm via Amazon, as well as I am in the moment of having my website. It's under construction, so all of the details will definitely be coming in in August with the launch.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Any way for them to get in touch with you if they wanted a reading or they wanted more information about your other books?
They could definitely connect with me on Facebook through my page, Chrisa Riviello, or also Mullica Hill Medium.
Okay, we're going to have to spell that. Mullica Hill?
Mullica Hill Medium?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mullica Hill. MullicaHillMedium.
So that's
Medium.
Yep. So you find that on Facebook, and Chrisa Riviello is Riviello. Chrisa is Chrisisa. You really do need to look her up and see all the things that are she's doing. If you're interested in some of the other books that she has written, you can go to, I believe, Amazon to find Women Who Illuminate, Life is a Gift, Loving You, and Messages to My Younger Self. I think you will find that very interesting. In the meantime, I want to ask you, Chrisa, something I ask everyone. What's your why?
My children.
Yeah. Best thing I ever did.
My children. That is my why. They are my driving force. They are my motivator to be the best version of myself. So they see what I'm accomplishing, what I've become. It'll trickle down into them, and then generations from there on.
Yes.
Breaking the cycles to better serve us and serve everyone around us.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, last thoughts?
No, I'm so grateful that you and I connected. There goes that saying, everything happens for a reason. I'm so happy we crossed paths, and this is definitely the beginning of a beautiful relationship for us as well. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for us as a team together and as friends. And thank you so much for having me today. I am so appreciative.
Oh my gosh.
Wonderful.
It's, I'm appreciative, and we're all the listeners, I'm sure, are appreciative of you being on the show, sharing your gifts, sharing your story. It's a really great story. And you know what I love about it, Chrisa, is so many people out there, they want to tap in. They know they have a gift. I knew for a long time that I did, not as substantial as yours yet. It's not as developed as yours, but, I got little hints as I was growing up, but then I would squash them. I would hide them away, and I would put them away. And now I love that the world has shifted where these conversations are more normal, air quotes, if you will, and that you're comfortable with coming out and talking about it, and people are coming to really get guidance. It doesn't change, right? It doesn't change their free will. It just gives them an idea of that they're in the right direction, right?
Correct. I am only here to guide. I am the messenger, but ultimately you have to decide the path you're going. I'm only here to give you your options, but in the bigger picture, it's your path, it's your decision. You have to determine if you're going to listen to the messages or just create your own destiny, whatever it may be. But you're the driver of the boat. You're the captain of the ship. So I'm only here to give you, guidance. And I will do the best I can to help you achieve where you want to be and what you want to and how you want to get there. But ultimately, again, you're the captain of your own ship. Take it away.
Yeah, exactly. Set sail. What's the most fulfilling reading that you gave? Fulfilling message that you gave someone? Like one of your stories.
I think it would have to be. When a really close friend of mine, when her mother-in-law passed away, it wasn't a very a good relationship between the two of them. But when she came through, she just had messages that were just really only acknowledged by her, but they were loving messages that she never realized. They were just subtle messages that, again, she just thought that the connection between the two of them when she was living was not there. She felt kind of outcasted from the family. But that wasn't, those were her mother-in-law's issues, not her issues. And that's a whole other story to tap into and talk about.
Yeah.
So what she was feeling was her mother-in-law's uncomfortableness within her own life that she felt projected on her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So when we connected with her mother-in-law after she had passed, the messages she had received, she realized that, as well as how much she did truly like her, unbeknownst to her during the time that she was alive.
Wow. That's a great story. Yeah. Yeah. Healing, right? Also healing.
Healing, because that's a whole other thing. When we, a famous saying I say to my kids, please do not let anyone take your energy. And we don't always know what others are carrying. So just be kind to everybody. And taking others' energy, that's where it comes in with, we all have issues. None of us are perfect.
Right.
The only perfect person in this world is my favorite girl, Mary Poppins. That is it.
Yeah.
She's the only one that's practically perfect in every way. There's the Disney.
I have to tell you, the funny story is that is absolutely one of my favorites in the whole entire world. It was one of my favorite albums, if anybody remembers albums, was Mary Poppins. She was always my favorite.
Oh,
so
yes.
Another connection there, Chrisa. Another connection.
I know. It's just amazing.
And she really had nice shoes, and I liked her purse. So anyway.
Absolutely. But yeah, she's the one that's practically perfect. None of us are.
Yeah.
And that's the whole empath side of our abilities is we don't take on others' issues, but sometimes we feel them.
Yeah.
And then we think that person is giving us something or we're feeling their negativity when it's really, we're not supposed to take that on.
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Well, two things to that is, one, I used to be able to feel, well, I can still feel it, but I know how to protect myself from absorbing it. There's a difference,
Yeah.
And then
That's key.
Yeah, it really is. And then the other thing is the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't take things personally, and don't make assumptions. If you follow those 4 agreements, if you follow those 4 rules, whatever you want to call them, your life will be so much kinder, gentler, and nicer, and you will actually walk in the world a lot lighter. Oh,
yes. Actually, that book sits on my desk when I do my readings, and I highly recommend it to a lot of my clients.
Seriously, I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, there's another connection.
Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I recommend this book to all of my clients. It's one of the first after Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I ask them to read the 4 agreements and know them. It makes life a lot easier, and it makes the choices easier. I know when I was going through my divorce, a friend of mine called up, and I would speak to her like once a quarter or something, and she just happened to call up, and about happening. There was a purpose for that. Somebody sent her. And she says, I don't know what you're going through, but she says, I just want to ask you a question, and don't answer me. It's just for you to think about, is what are you teaching your boys? And when I heard that, from that moment forward, I've never had to question any of my decisions, because that was my guiding principle. What am I teaching my sons? Made it easy. Took a lot of pressure away, all the other emotional stuff that got packed in there that you couldn't see through. And it made it easier. So I'm sure you thought the same thing while you were going through your divorce. What are you teaching your kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day. They're always watching. They're always listening. You got to be that model, and you get just absolutely. Yes, I resonate with that very much.
Yeah. It's a great thing. So again, to reach out to Chrisa Riviello on Facebook. Also, it is Mullica. Is it called Mullica?
It's Mullica Hill Medium. Yeah.
Mullica Hill Medium. And you could find her on Facebook. I think you should reach out if Chrisa is resonating with you. Also, you're going to come back on for us when The Crow on the Farm is actually published in August.
Yes.
Okay, you heard it. She committed.
That sounds wonderful.
It's awesome. Thank you again, Chrisa, for being on the show. We really appreciate everything. I appreciate you so much, and I'm so grateful for you taking the time to spend with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm just, there's no words for the opportunity you have just given me. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. It's my honor, really, honestly. Thank you all for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. You know my heart is so lifted by sharing this time with you. Your time with us is really your gift to us because we know you have a lot of choices. So you hanging on, you listening in, you giving us comments and sending us emails, and we appreciate those so much. We've received a number of emails recently with such high appreciation, and I'm telling you, we read every single one of them. Thank you so very much for sending them. So once again, let me just remind you that we are here to serve one another. So please take a moment out of your day, do a little something for someone else, but remember, do a little something for yourself every day. It really doesn't have to be big, but definitely take a moment, do something for yourself, create a new habit, create that new balance, make some choices. Listen, everything comes down with choices. As we started the show, yes or no, in or out, top or bottom, you just have to make those choices. So 21 days to build a habit, 90 days to build a lifestyle. Again, thank you for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Lori Anne. Until next time, play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big.